Hello YouTube. If we haven't met before, my name's Jessie. Welcome to my channel. I'm excited that you are here. A little bit about me. I'm a psychic medium. I'm a therapist for developing psychics, empaths, highly sensitive people. If you're interested in doing a reading with me or working with me on a therapeutic basis, all the information is down below. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, all of the things. And before we get into it, if what I'm sharing resonates with you, I love it when you share my work. So if as you're watching this video, you just keep thinking of someone in your life, that could be a little nudge from spirit to send it to them. So sending YouTubes, TikToks, all of those things it should be considered another love language at this point. It's definitely one of mine. So if what I'm sharing resonates, feel free to send it along. And today's video is going to be talking about receiving. When it comes to wanting to receive more love in our life, a partnership, or receiving more money, or it could be something smaller, bigger, whatever it is that you're wanting to receive. I wanted to break down the energetics of this a little bit and then also talk about some of the ways that you could be subconsciously holding yourself back from receiving. Receiving is this month's energy theme, August 2023. That's the energy theme. And so I do my best to share on my social media, especially on my YouTube videos that are underneath that umbrella theme. If you're confused as to what I am talking about, every month I do a channeled tarot reading. I channel in an energy theme, sort of a blueprint for the energy of the month. And then I talk about how it might show up for you, some of the ways you can navigate and work through it throughout the month. So with the energy of receiving. Okay, how do I want to start? So, our ability to receive whatever it is that we're wanting to call into our lives is always there. It's always there. The energy, the frequency is always there. But sometimes we are not aligned with it, or sometimes it's knocking on our door, but we are not letting it in. So sometimes people come to me for a reading and they're saying, I really want to call in a partner, but it's been 8 years and I've been single and I've just started to give up. I don't know how. Maybe this isn't for me. And what I can say is I have never once had a reading yet, knock on wood, and I don't think there ever will be, but I've never once had a reading where someone has come to me with a strong heart-centered desire for something and spirit has said no. Never once. It's always like, we hear you. We're just waiting for you to let it in. It's always the energy, the frequency is always right there. So what I wanted to share with you when it comes to receiving more money, receiving more love, again, whatever it is that you're craving in your life, whatever that heart-centered desire is, there are subtle ways that you might be energetically communicating that you're not in the state of receiving. And I share this from personal experience as well. These are some of the checks that I've been applying to myself recently that are helping me sort of get in that energetic state. It's also helping prep my body to feel safe to receive energy. So one of the ways that you might be blocking yourself off from receiving energy is compliments. So, have you ever had an experience where someone has given you a compliment and either one, you make a joke about it, hey, hello. Sarcasm is also another one of my love languages. I've noticed that a go-to for me can be when I'm not in a receiving state and someone shares a compliment with me, I will immediately try to diminish it with humor or sarcasm. That's one way. Another way, when someone wants to share a compliment with me, I will physically close myself off from the energy and I'll kind of squeeze, and sometimes I'll like kind of go like this and pull my hands into my body because again, I am not in the receiving mode. I'm not comfortable. I haven't felt comfortable receiving. So take a little bit of a reflection. Maybe this applies to you, maybe it doesn't. And I want to say too, I'm sharing more specific examples, but there could be other ways that you start to think about as you watch this video. There's so many different ways that we can block ourselves off from receiving. So if you kind of have this aha moment from this video, then that's probably where it is that you're holding back from receiving. Another way that I see that we block ourselves off from when it comes to receiving is self-care. Self-care. We've had a lot of conversations recently collectively about self-care. And I want to talk about self-care on a little bit of a deeper and energetic level. I just got my hair cut before this video. She did an absolutely wonderful job. And something that I've been thinking about, and I was thinking about as she was styling my hair, was how when it comes to self-care, when it comes to receiving some sort of treatment, getting your hair cut, whatever it is, I think there can be this label of it either being selfish or it being superficial. But I had this download recently, and it's so funny because I've always seen, I always joke, fitness instructors, being a fitness instructor is a gateway drug into spirituality. I have been a fitness instructor for 6 years now, and it led me to channeling spirit in classes. I have a video on that if you're interested in, and it's on how I learned how to channel spirit. Fitness instructors and estheticians, I always notice they are so tuned in and they are so connected to spirit because what they're offering is a spiritual practice in and of itself. And when it comes to receiving beauty treatments or however you want to frame it, it's energy work. So for me, I got so much weight off of my hair, and that was all dead energy. That was all I needed it. I recently got a pedicure as well. Again, I'm upping my game of receiving, and I was speaking with the woman who was giving me my pedicure, and we were talking about how our feet are they're our first point of connection to the earth, to that grounding energy, to earth energy. And we came in physical body to receive that earth energy. Came into this lifetime to experience the frequency, the energy of the earth, and they're our first point of contact. And yet our feet can be so often overlooked. And tying it back into receiving, looking at maybe the ways that you put off self-care. Or another one that I've recently been catching myself doing, I know skincare has become so big in the past few years, and there's this really almost like culture around skincare and skincare products, and I totally get the hype. I would hurry through my skincare routine at the end of the day because I was tired. I knew that I needed to make dinner. I just wanted to relax, all the things. And then recently I took a step back and said, hold on, wait a minute. This is an opportunity for me to receive more. Slowing down and noticing the discomfort that came up for me as I was putting my skincare on, and that small moment of self-care. Again, similar to when receiving compliments, my body would start to tense up. And I couldn't help but wonder how this was also blocking the efficiency of the products that I was using. I know that there's a better word for that, but how much I was receiving the benefits of the products because, again, I was tightening up and I was communicating it is not safe to receive. So again, when it comes to self-care, are you hurrying through it? Are you putting it off? Are you diminishing it as something that you don't need? When it comes to receiving energy, it's a cycle, right? It's a balance of giving and receiving. And I think that's always work that we're going to be doing as humans, is fine-tuning the balance between the two. But notice, are you putting out more than what you're receiving? And can you find those practices when it comes to self-care? It doesn't need to be something huge that you're spending money on. It can be something small as like washing your hands. Can you take the time to slow down, smell the scent of the soap, feel the sensation of the water on your skin, whatever it is? Slowing down is a beautiful way to get yourself into receiving mode. The last thing that I want to share when it comes to this and the aha moments I've had recently is that when it comes to eating and drinking. For me, I've been reflecting on how much, when it comes to food, how much programming we might have received around good food and bad food, and how I have really created this practice again of sort of like clenching my belly when I'm eating and almost bracing for impact. I think subconsciously I wasn't allowing myself to receive the energy of the food because I love pizza. I love pizza so much, and I've received so much conditioning on why I shouldn't eat pizza, but I love it. I absolutely love it. And so I've been focusing on that when I'm eating pizza or when I'm eating other food, is like, can I still eat something bad and receive the energy of it and know that that is doing so much more for me? The joy that I receive from eating something that I love is so nutritious and it's so nourishing and it's good for the soul. So focusing on when you're eating food, can you allow yourself to receive the energy? When it comes to drinking water, one of the practices that I've recently loved doing is speaking to my water before I drink it and asking it to help me with receiving, or asking it to help me have a happy and healthy, abundant day, whatever it is. Again, it comes to slowing down and noticing how your body is feeling when you're doing something. So you can take this into anything that you're doing throughout your day. Can I slow it down? Can I allow my body to relax and receive the energy, which is a cue for the universe to help you with whatever it is that you're wanting to bring into your life? Because again, the energy is always right there, but depending on how open, how relaxed we are, then that's gonna show up as to if we're trying to call something in and it feels like we're hitting our head against a wall constantly. The last thing that I want to say about this when it comes to receiving is there's a huge component on nervous system regulation. So I've taken the past few years, around like 2019, I want to say, was when I consciously decided that I really wanted to slow down and I really wanted to work on nervous system regulation. I was living in so much of a dysregulated state. And if we're living in a dysregulated state, it doesn't feel safe to receive, right? At the end of the day, we've blocked ourselves off from receiving because we live in duality and we know that there is good out there and there is bad out there. Are those very 3D words? Yes, they are, but for the context of this video, we're going to use them. There is energy that we don't want to receive and that there is energy that we do want to receive. And because maybe for the majority of our life, we have received experiences and energies that we would conceptualize as bad, that's where we've gotten to this point of closing ourselves off, holding ourselves in, and not allowing ourselves to receive the good because we are so fearful of the bad. There's also these other connotations of like, we have to give more and receive less or receive nothing. But from my experience, we can't actually truly, authentically show up in a giving mode when our tank is empty. We can't continuously run on empty and say that we are doing good for others if we are not also receiving ourselves. So when it comes to nervous system regulation, finding those tools and those practices, I'm a big advocate for breathwork and meditation when it comes to that. And so taking this receiving energy in is, can you think of receiving an inhale as a way of learning to work with the receiving energy? Again, this gets to be super simple. It doesn't have to be something that you spend a lot of time and energy on, but as you go throughout the day, can you break down the motions of your day and look at the ways that you can allow yourself to slow down in the energy of receiving? And eventually it'll get to that point where your body starts to correlate safety with receiving. I loved channeling this in for you. Let me know how this resonated and if there's someone in your life that you think could benefit from receiving this video. Again, please share my work. All my information is below. My website, where to book with me, all the things is down below. So I'm there if you're interested, and I am sending you love.